In response to the ongoing economic challenges faced by many Americans, particularly those on fixed incomes, a group of lawmakers has introduced a bill proposing a one-time relief payment of $1,750. This payment is specifically targeted at recipients of Social Security Supplemental Security Income SSI, Social Security Disability Insurance SSDI, and Veterans Affairs VA benefits. The proposal recognizes that individuals relying on these benefits are often among the most vulnerable to economic fluctuations, and the $1,750 figure was chosen as it represents a significant boost that could help cover several months of increased expenses for many recipients. It's important to note that at this stage, this is still a proposal. It hasn't been passed into law yet, but it's gaining traction in Congress. Based on the current proposal, you may be eligible if you meet the following criteria. You are a current recipient of SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits. You are receiving these benefits as of a specific date to be determined, and your annual income does not exceed a certain threshold, likely similar to previous relief payments. However, it's crucial to understand that these criteria could change as the proposal moves through the legislative process. For many SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries, $1,750 could cover nearly 2 months of average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in many parts of the country, approximately 4 to 6 months of grocery expenses for an individual, several months of utility bills, or a significant portion of annual out-of-pocket medical expenses. For those living on fixed incomes, this extra cushion could provide much-needed breathing room in tight budgets. While $1,750 may not solve all financial challenges, it can provide a crucial buffer, allowing recipients to catch up on bills, make necessary home or vehicle repairs, or even start a small emergency fund. To understand the significance of this proposal, it's important to look at the broader economic context driving it. Over the past few years, we've seen inflation rates reaching multi-decade highs, significant increases in housing costs, rising food prices, and escalating healthcare expenses. These factors have hit fixed-income individuals particularly hard. While there have been cost of living adjustments to benefits, many argue that these haven't kept pace with the real increase in living expenses. This proposal is an attempt to provide a more substantial, immediate form of relief to those who may be struggling the most with these economic pressures. The journey this proposal needs to take before it potentially becomes a reality is complex. It has already been formally introduced in Congress and will need to be reviewed by relevant congressional committees, which may make amendments or changes. If approved by committees, the bill will be voted on in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. If versions differ between the House and Senate, they'll need to be reconciled. If passed by both chambers, the bill goes to the President for signature or veto. If signed into law, government agencies will then work on the logistics of distributing the payments. This entire process can take several months, and there's no guarantee of success at each stage. While it's impossible to give exact dates at this stage, we can provide a rough estimate based on similar past initiatives. In a best-case scenario, if the bill moves quickly through Congress and is signed into law, payments could potentially start going out within 2 to 3 months of passage. However, a more realistic scenario, given the complexities of the legislative process and the logistics of distributing payments, would be a timeline of 4 to 6 months from passage to the first payments being issued. Factors such as debates in Congress, changes to the proposal, or technical challenges in implementation could extend this timeline. In light of this proposal, there are several steps you should consider taking now. First and foremost, stay informed about the progress of this bill. Verify that your address and direct deposit information are up to date with the Social Security Administration or VA to help avoid delays if payments are approved. Be wary of scams, remember. No one will contact you asking for personal information to sign you up for this payment. While it's good to be optimistic, remember that this payment isn't guaranteed, so continue to budget based on your current income. If you're struggling financially, don't wait for this potential payment. Reach out to financial counselors or local assistance programs for help now. An important question many might have is how receiving this payment would affect other benefits. Based on similar past payments, it's anticipated that this payment would not be counted as income for SSI purposes and would be excluded from resources for 12 months. It should not affect SSDI or VA disability compensation and pension benefits. However, programs like SNAP food stamps or housing assistance might have different rules, so it's best to check with your local benefit office for specifics. Similar payments in the past have been tax-free, but we'll need to wait for official guidance on this specific proposal. While this proposed payment could provide significant short-term relief, it's also important to consider the bigger picture and long-term solutions being discussed to address the ongoing financial challenges faced by SSI, SSDI, and VA benefit recipients. Some ideas being debated include adjusting how cost of living increases are calculated for benefits, increasing the minimum benefit amounts for SSI, revising income and resource limits for various benefit programs, improving access to job training and employment support for those able to work, and enhancing programs that help with healthcare costs. In conclusion, while this proposed $1,750 relief payment could provide crucial immediate relief for many SSI, SSDI, and VA benefit recipients, it's important to remember that it's still a proposal that needs to pass through Congress. The timeline is uncertain, but it could be several months before any payments are made if approved. Stay informed, be cautious of potential scams, and continue to explore ways to strengthen your financial situation, regardless of whether this proposal passes. Your engagement can make a difference. Consider sharing your story, contacting your congressional representatives, and supporting others in your community who might benefit from this information. Remember, whether this specific proposal becomes law or not, the conversation it has sparked about supporting vulnerable populations is an important one that will likely continue to shape policy discussions in the future.